Hi everyone, once again I'm Prince Armstrong, and today I'm going to be your instructor, okay, of HTML, and it has HTML5 and CSS Introduction. And as I said, my name is Prince Armstrong of Armstrong Computers. So without wasting my time, let me take you guys through the slide. After the slide, then I'll just come back and then take you guys through how to build a whole website. And also today, as this introduction, we are going to just look at the elements of HTML, and also how one can view source codes, and what is a source code, and so on and so forth. So basically, that's what we'll be looking at today. So without wasting my time, stay put and enjoy your class.
At the end of the slide, Sir Prince will take us through the HTML elements practically. Welcome back once again. What is HTML5? HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is easy and fun to learn. HTML describes the structure of web pages. HTML5 is the fifth and current major version of the HTML standard. Why learn HTML5? It is essential to learn HTML if you want to build websites. You can't build one if you don't know HTML, because it's one of the prerequisites in learning other languages used for web development.
Now, I hope you now know why HTML is very important. And now HTML5, as you just know, is the fifth current version of an HTML, more or less a standard version. Now, why you should learn, you now know why you should learn an HTML. Now, let me explain what they said earlier, what the slide, or what we learned in a slide earlier on. So far as tags are concerned, let me show you something here. Now, let me dive straight to my browser, and then I'll show you something. So more or less, as I'm in my browser now, I'd like you guys to see something here. How can you view an HTML? What about HTML itself? What is all about HTML? What is all about tags? They mention tags and so on and so forth. What is it all about? Let me show you something here. Let me go to Armstrong Computer System website, and I'll show you something. I'd like us to just understand something here. Okay, so basically, as you can see, this is the web page. Now, as this is my web page, I'd like you to, let me just scroll down here, because I designed one website for Sun City Medical Center. So that when you open Sun City Medical Center website, now you can see that let it open, then I'll explain something. So as you can see, so this is the home page of the Sun City Medical Center. But before that, let me just do some decoration. Now, this is just for a learning purpose, for you guys to just learn what a source code is all about. But it's not advisable to be picking people's source code and also for as yours and develop it. It's not advisable. Google policy restricts that. So please, just for educational status or educational purpose. So please stay put. Now let me explain this. Now I want you to see this web page, for instance. This is a whole website. For me to view the website of this website, what I need to do is I can just bring the mouse pointer here, right click on it. When I right click, you see what we have, view page source. So when you click on view page source, it will give you a bunch of codes. So all the codes you see here, that's what we are going to look at. That's what we are going to look at, how to put all these things together to build a whole complete website. But before that, we need to understand the element, for instance. Now, these HTML codes these are all called source code. These are all source code. They are all HTML tags, classes of containing special tags and also a single tag. So we'll be looking at all this, what really a special tag is and what's really a single tag is, as far as elements are concerned. Now let me explain what a tag is. Now when you watch very carefully, you see we have header. So the header here you see here is also a tag. That is a header tag. And you also have, you can see we have title here. The title is also, how to call it, a tag, and is having a starting tag. Okay, we call it open tag, and then a closing tag. Now this title header or this title tag help us, okay, this very one, it help us to give a name to, or to title our web page, okay, to title our web page. That is what a title tag is used for. I'm going to explain this in the description below, where you guys can just read more and you see the explanation of all these tags one after the other. So you can see we have the open tag of the title and then the closing tag. When it come here also, you can see we have here, these are all star sheets, but here I'll talk about it later on. But when we come here, for instance, you can see that we have the order list. The order list, we have the opening tag of the order list, and we have the closing tag of the order list here. Okay, so open tag, and then we have the closing tag. So these are all tags. So tags are elements used to build, okay, a web page. Okay, so that is what the tags are, element that the web browser used to display the content of the of the web page. So in between the tag you put a content there, so the web browser have to depend on those tags and display the content in the web page. So basically that is just that. Let's look at how that is being done. Now, as you don't understand this now let's assume that I wanted to view a whole or more or less download this image. Okay, when I right click on this, you can see to tell me to view or save image as an open image in a new tab. Okay, there's another way. You can also go by just right clicking on it and click on as indeed we view the source code. When I come here, you can see that in the code I create something we call slide. So we have the slide content by me creating the home tab, about tab, that is the nav button. Now in between the nav, you can see that I brought something like sliding here. Check this out. Let me show you something here. So after down here, okay, down. Okay, now this is it. So after my star sheet, and I create a div container here, and in the div container I brought the image. So this is the image that I use for my website, for the web designing, or sorry, for the website for Sun City Medical Center. So you can see it here. So when I click here, for instance, you can see this is the image. Okay, these are the images. When I click on new, for instance, and then I paste the image here, you can see that it will literally display the image for me. So that is how one can download the image and also download images. You can also choose to just right click on this very image, like this very one, and then click on open image in the new tab, and the image will display in the new tab here. This is displaying, you can see. But the one that I copy and paste here, you can see that it is not displaying because I pick it from the source code here, where I said image data URL is image, and indeed the source is the folder image slash the name of the image. Okay, but when you watch here, if I could have copied, supposing I copied this, okay, when I copied this image, I need to then the image file location, I need to then add the Sun City Medical Center.org website and URL address slash this before I can get the image. So you can see here, example is this. You can see we have Sun City Medical Center slash what image in which the folder is in, and then slash the name of the folder. So when you know how to read source code, it will be easy for you. When I click on this, for instance, you can see the image will just display. So let's wait for it. You see, this is it. So when I come here and then click on this very image again, and I click on it here, it will also display for me. That's another way to view images in source codes. Another thing one can also do is that, let's assume that you want to then learn more about, how do you call it, source codes. As I just said, you viewing source code help you to know more about how people write their source code so far as what web designing is concerned, so that at least you can also learn, build on that. You build on that to also develop your web page. So when I click here, for instance, and I click on view source code, it will then display all the source code for me, as I just said earlier on. But let's say you want to see some of the images that is in the website, you want to download it. There's a way by going by it. You can also right click and click on right click here, then you just scroll down here where we have the interrupt, then it will open the Chrome element browser here. Then after that, I'd like you to go to network. When you click on network, it will display all the network frequencies. You have to just refresh your page, and you see the progress will just display here. You also just come to image, and it will display all the images in the website for you. So you can see I have the logo here. So when I double click on it, you can see it will display the logo, just the logo for me nicely. I've seen it. So how do I know all this? Now, to know all this, you need to make sure to learn to study source codes. And when you study the source codes of most of the web developers, it will build you up to become a web developer. But don't worry, at the end of this course, I'm going to take you guys through how to build a whole complete website. So now, without wasting my time, let's dive straight to something that I just explained in the slide.
HTML elements. In the first lesson we have studied about tags and things like start tag and end tag. An HTML element is usually composed of a start tag, element content, and an end tag. Sir Prince will take us through the tags one after the other, and today we'll be looking at 10 tags.
Okay, after explaining the HTML elements in the slide, I like us to just understand this. Now, for you to develop a website or a web page, you need a text editor, and I'll be leaving the link in the description below, or in the description under the video, where you guys can just look at the types of text editors that we have. But maybe tomorrow, the next video, I'm going to then talk about how you guys can get access to all these text editors, and it is fun. Okay, it is very fun. Now let's look at it. Now, the text editors that one can use, you can use Sublime Text, which is also a text editor to edit or to create your web page. You can also use the Notepad++. You can also use your Visual Basic. Now, what about, say, if you don't have all this in place, what will you do? If you don't have all this, what one need to do is that you can even use your Notepad and then create your web page or your website easily. Let's look at it. Now, to do this, you have to just let me just go to my Notepad. Okay, so there's my Notepad. I'll open my Notepad because I don't have any text editor, although I have, but for education purpose, I like you to get the whole concept very well. So as I have my text editor, remember I explained that web pages are designed by using what elements such as tags. Okay, and these elements are tags, and today we'll be looking at an example of what I'm talking about. At the end of the day, we'll be looking at 10 source code. Okay, that's what we'll be looking at. So without wasting my time, let's dive straight to it. Now, as I have my Notepad here, let's look at me developing my first web page. So me developing my first web page, what I need to do is I need to bring something we call, I need to declare that I'm creating an HTML document. So I use a doc type declaration. So if you don't have these text editors, you can use your Notepad to create your first web page. Let's look at it. So I'll go by saying doc, okay, doc type. So doc type, and then I'll go by saying I'm creating HTML. Okay, I'm creating an HTML document. So doc type. Now, say, is it case sensitive? No, it's never case sensitive. But most of the time, the doc declaration is always in capital letters, but you can choose to ignore it or you bring it. But because as a beginner, you need to understand this, so therefore you can then type the doc type, okay, in caps. Then I'll explain it. This simply means that I'm creating an HTML document. The type of document I'm creating is HTML. Okay, so basically that is just that. Then after that, I'll then go ahead and bring my HTML tag, meaning to confirm that I'm creating an HTML. So HTML. Okay, then after that, I'll bring the as I said, the first one here is known as the opening tag. So let me go ahead and bring the closing tag. Every closing tag comes with a /. So /HTML. Okay, nice. So in between the HTML, here are the case I need to give a title to my HTML. So I'll go by and then bring a particular tag called header. Okay, so I'll go by saying header, and then bring the close, that is the open tag of the header, and then bring the closing tag of my header also. Now look at how I'm writing the elements and do just that. So you can see, so in between my HTML I have my header. Now in between the header we are going to give a name to the web page. Now check it out. When you watch this very side, you can see, when you watch here, you can see where we have Sun City Medical Center. So the name that is being given is Sun City Medical Center. So that is the name, that's the title that you give. So here I'll just go ahead, so in between the header, so I'll just bring a tag known as what? Title. Okay, I'll bring a tag known as title. So I'll go by saying my title, and then bring the close tag of the title also. Okay, that is that. So I bring the close tag of my title. So basically I made a mistake. My title, I have to leave it T in between my title. Okay, so now in between the title I'll just give it a name as, let's say, Armstrong, okay, HTML and CSS. Okay, CSS. So basically that is just that. Then after that I'll go ahead and save my web page. Now how can I save my web page? To save my web page is very advisable that I'll click on File and click on Save. But before that, let me explain this. To save your web page, you need to create a folder where you save your web page in the folder. So most of your web page elements need to be in your folder, so that at the end of the day, when you're uploading it to your website, it will be easily for you, for the website, for the web browser to locate all your files. But don't worry, I'll be covering that section also. But for now, I want you to understand how we name a page, and this how to use all these elements. Remember, as I just said, we're looking at 5 elements for today. So now I'll just click on Save As. When I click on Save As, okay, let me specify the location where I want to save my file. So let's say I want to save my file in my document, and in my document I want to create a folder. Okay, so let me create a folder and name that folder. Okay, so I just click on folder. If you don't know, you can just right click on new and then you give it a name. So folder, and then I'll give it a name as HTML. Okay, HTML join together, HTML and CSS. Okay, so that is the name of my folder. Then after that I'll double click on it and then give a name to the folder. So I'll give it a name as, let's say, index. Okay, index. So after typing index, now after you've given a name to the file, you don't click on save. Now HTML documents have uses a file extension. So on top of a file extension is an extra text, okay, after a dot, that display at the end of the file name that describe the type of file the file is. So because I'm creating an HTML document, so I need to go by ahead and bring index. So the name that I give to the file, that is index. So index dot html. So this simply means that I'm creating an HTML document. So this become a file extension that describe what type of file I'm creating. Okay, so all the time after bringing the name, bring .html. So after that, might to just go ahead and click on save and click on save. So now after saving, so might to just hit straight to my browser. So I'll just go straight to my browser. I'll go straight and come to where we have the document and select this is my folder. So HTML and CSS. So I'll double click on the folder to be open, and I'll see my file here. So this is my file, so I'll double click on it to be open. So as I double click on it and it's open, remember the name, what I like you to watch is that the name we get, the title that we give to the web page is called Armstrong HTML and CSS. So when it comes to when it comes to your browser, you realize that we have Armstrong, HTML, and CSS. So you can see, so that's the name we gave to the web page. Now let's work on the content of the web page. So you have to dash straight to your text editor, which is your Notepad. Now, to work on the content of a web page, you need to use a particular element. We'll be looking at an element called body. So the body tag. The body also comes with an open tag and the close tag. So all the time you bring the /, okay? So you can see, so this become okay the open tag, and this become the closing tag. Now in between the body and the in between the open tag and the close tag of the body contain, how they call it, the header. But hey, I made a mistake here. Let me explain this. Now all the time, let me cut this off. All the time the body tag have to be, you see, we start with what, HTML here, and this is the closing tag of the HTML. So I need to make sure in between I drop my body tag in between the HTML file, because I'm creating HTML. So everything have to be in the HTML. So now you get that. Let me explain the body tag. The body tag display the content of HTML. So in between the body tag, when I type something like, let's say the boy is going to school, okay, and then I save it. Okay, let me save it. The moment I save it and I come to my browser and I refresh, you can see that display in my browser. Okay, that display in my browser. Now someone may ask, so is that how they put the contents in the web page? No, that is not how they put the content in the web page. As I just said, we'll be looking at how to call it 10 elements. Now, so anything you put in between the open tag and the closing tag of the body display in the browser. So the browser then depend on these tags to display the contents in the browser. So now another element I'd like us to then talk about is called header. So here, because I said the boy is going to school, fine, that the boy is going to school. Now I would like to call that as a header. So, or maybe I want to create a different header. So to create a different header, so this become a paragraph, okay? So, but before that, let's look at header. So I'll put the mouse pointer here and press enter. So, and I'll bring the tag called header, heading 1. So, okay, the headers are from heading 1, 2, 3 to 6. That is 6 is the smallest header. So the header also comes with a closing tag. So I come here. So in between the header, maybe I'll go by saying this is, okay, Armstrong, okay, heading heading 1, okay. Then I can copy this, okay, and paste it 6 times. So press enter, 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 and enter. So as I've pressed enter, enter, and enter, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so let me take this one off, the last one. So as I did that, what I'd like you to understand is this. So when I come here, this is heading 1. So when I change it to heading 2, so this become heading 3, and this become heading 3. So, and I have my heading 4, and this is header 4 again, and this is my header 5, and this is my header 5 again, the last one, and this is my header 6, and this become my header 6. So I'll go ahead, this is header 2, header 3, header 4, header 5, and the last one, header 6. So when I'm done, I might just click on file and click on save to save the changes in the browser. So the moment I go ahead and go to my in my text editor, file, and click on save in your text editor. The moment you go to your browser and refresh your web page, you can see we have heading 1 being the biggest. I hope you can see that. Let me zoom it a little bit so you guys can see. So heading 1 being the biggest, so heading 2, so heading 3, in that manner up to heading 6. Okay, so this is heading 6. So this, if I'm writing a paragraph, let me show you something here. If I'm writing a paragraph, I'll go to my text editor. In the paragraph, let's say I want to repeat this 2 times. So let me copy the Armstrong, the boy is going to school. So I'll put my paragraph tag here, paragraph, and then bring the closing tag of my paragraph here also. So P. So all the time, if you are bringing the closing tag, the closing tag always comes with a /, okay, while the opening tag does not come with any slash, okay. So basically that is just that. So after doing this, what I'd like you to get to understand is that now I'll put a cursor here, space, paste, space, paste, space, paste. So at least, I mean, having paste like 3 times, it's okay. Then I'll just come, so the boy is going to school, the boy is going to school. I mean, it's kind of a damning text, of course. And I'll click on save. The moment I click on save, and then I come to my browser and refresh, you can see I have, okay, we have the boy is going to school, so that becomes a paragraph. But if I want, maybe the boy is going to school, the boy is going to school, the boy is going to, like 2 times to display, I want to then bring the next paragraph down, I need to use a tag called break. So when I have the boy is going to school, the boy is going to school, let's say, so the boy is going to school, so comma here, another boy is going to school, another comma here, and I want the next one to come down. I have to use a tag called break. Now the break does not come with a close tag because it's a special tag. Okay, it doesn't come with a close tag because it's a what? It's a special tag. So break is a special tag. So mine to just come and bring the BR for the break, meaning that I want this very text to break to, to display in the browser. When I come to the browser here, I want this text to come down here. So the moment, the moment that has been done, I have to just click on file and then click on save. The moment I click on save and go to my browser and then I refresh, you can see, so you can see it has break nicely. So basically that is just that. So far as what, how do you call it, HTML and CSS is concerned. As I just, I'm going to explain what the text editors are, and also the next video I'll be talking about how you can then put all these text editors together. Now let's go ahead. Now as we now understand these elements now, so far as the open tag and the closing tag is concerned, let's assume that you want to then go ahead and then use something we call link. You want to link something, okay? You can just also link web pages together. You can also go ahead and change a text element. Now let me show you something here. Let's assume that I wanted to go ahead and change the the font color of this header. Then what you need to do is I need to use an element called style. Now we have inline CSS and also have the extended CSS. That means that if you want to, you can write a CSS extended, you can also write a CSS internal. Okay, so let's look at that. Now let's assume that I would like to change the color of my first header 1. Okay, how will I go by? There are variety way of doing this. You can bring the mouse pointer here and go by and use an element called style. Okay, so style. So style equals to, okay, then I'll go by saying quotes. Okay, I'll go by saying quotes. Okay, and I'll say color as a color. Okay, so I want the color should be let's say gold. Okay, gold. Okay, so then after that I'll go ahead and save it. So the moment I save it and come to my browser and then I refresh it, you can see the color has changed to gold. Okay, that is gold. Okay, now I can also increase the font size, although I'm using header. How about I'm using another color here? Let's do another color for paragraph, and then after that I'm just going to go ahead and then paragraph, and then I'll increase the font size to the paragraph. Before that, let's do it with the color. Okay, so I'll go back to my web notepad, come to paragraph, put a cursor in between my paragraph, space it, and type style. Okay, style equals to, bring the quote, and in between the quotes, then I'll type color, color, then color. Okay, let me use this one. Let me say this one should be red. Okay, red. Okay, then after that, I'll then save it. You can hold on Ctrl plus X, or click on save. Then you come back here, then you refresh it, then you can see all change. Now if you want to change the font color also, you have to use something we call font hyphens size. Okay, so how do you do that? You just come here again, then you come to where we have the color, so you put a cursor here. Okay, then you just type fonts. Okay, font, so nt for my font hyphen size. Okay, hyphen size. Okay, then after that you go by column, then fonts are measured in pixels, so I'll go font size are measured in points or pixels, so I'll go like 40 pixels. Done. So after that, my to just 40 pixels and bring my column. Yeah, that's it. Done. So after that, I'll just click on file and save. So when I come to my browser and I refresh, check, my font is big. Okay, so basically, so far so good. I hope you now understand the basic concept so far. So now I'm going to explain the doc decoration, I'm going to explain the HTML tag, I'm going to explain the header tag, I'm going to explain how they call it the title tag, and also explain the body tag, and explain the header, as well as explain the paragraph. And then I'll explain this line so far as CSS style is concerned, the style sheet is concerned, and I'm going to explain all that. So in all, today brings me to the end of today's section. The next day when we meet again, I will throw more light on this, and I'm going to introduce the text editors. See you and catch you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.